Okay, I have a smartwatch this time. It's one which has a SIM card and is compatible with synchronizing with your Android phone. So you can synchronize your Android phone, which allows you to get push notifications. So any notifications your Android phone will push over to this. But if you don't have a Android phone, if you have a Windows phone, an iPhone or whatever, it has a SIM card slot, so you can do things like Facebook and WhatsApp and web browsing and make phone calls directly from just the phone. In fact, those features require that you have a SIM card in, even if you are synchronized to your phone anyway. So let's take a look. Nice box. It's a bit hard to see here. I have a broken tripod, so I'm not getting the best angle on it. I'm a bit too zoomed in, but anyway, take this off. The smartwatch would be in there, wrapped up, which you take out, and it has a screen protector, and inside is a mini or micro, I can't remember which it is, USB cable for charging the device. So it does come with a cable, which is really handy. And like I said, it's a nice box for the price, because this is only £19 in the UK. So for a device, and there is a manual there, by the way. So for a device that costs less than £20, it has a very nice looking box. It is, I believe, a newer model of the U8. If you see a smartwatch called the U8, this is a newer model. It's a DZ09. It has a screen size of 1.56 inches, which is about the size of the bigger Apple Watch. The Apple Watch comes in two sizes. I think it's 32mm and 42mm. Anyway, this is equivalent to actually the bigger size Apple Watch. It has a resolution of 240 by 240. It has a 380 mAh battery. It has a competitive high sensitivity touchscreen, and that does work well, as you'll see later. Its dimensions are 43.5 by 40 by 9.8mm. It uses a CPU of an MTK 6260A. It uses Bluetooth 3. Unfortunately, it doesn't use Bluetooth 4. It does use Bluetooth 3. Its camera is only 0.3 megapixels. It has a standby time of 60 to 120 hours, which is pretty good, and has a continuous core time of 1.5 to 3 hours. And you download, if you want to sync it with your phone, the software only supports Android, not iOS, not iPhone or Windows Phone. It only supports Android using the BT Notifier app, and that is not the one that's on the Google Play Store. You have to scan a QR code. So don't be fooled, it's not the one that's on the Google Play Store, it's another program with the same name. And if for some reason your download's corrupt and you can't use that on your Android phone, there is one called Smartwatch. I think it's just called Smartwatch I found in the Google Play Store, and that actually does work with this phone. So if you're having problems with the BT Notifier app via the QR code, you might want to try that. There are ones for iOS and the Mac in the iOS App Store, but they don't seem to recognize this device, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's a little bit hard for me to show because of the broken tripod. But here it is, silver and black. Now, if we look at, if we look at the top, there is a microphone and 0.3 megapixel camera, and at the bottom is a home button, and the screen is a competitive touchscreen, high sensitivity, and that is true. It's actually a really nice screen for such a cheap device. I've had other cheap devices like phones where the screen looks really bad and is very unresponsive to the touch. In a minute I'll show you. This one picks up every single swipe, every single press. It's really good touchscreen. It's silver and black, as I said. The underside is very rubbery and soft to the feel, so it's a strap, very nice strap. We press the home button in just once to check the time. We can hit the center of the screen to change the clock face and hit it again to change the clock face again. There is, I don't know how well it picks up on camera, but there is 3 different clock faces. A couple very standard ones, and then one I like with Roman numerals, although the Roman numeral for number 4 is actually incorrect. It's 4 lines, whereas the Roman numeral for number 4 is actually IV. But anyway, there is 3 different clock faces, and you change them just by pressing the screen. And if you want to go into options, we hold down the home button for a few seconds. And if you hold it down too long, it'll say, do you want to power off? So that's how you turn it off. So basically, you hold it down for a couple of seconds to get to this screen here, or hold it down even longer to power off the device. As you can see, you have messaging for sending SMSs, etc. Bluetooth to turn on Bluetooth for pairing it with your Android. Call logs, BT dialer, which is another part of syncing it, because from Bluetooth, that is where you turn on Bluetooth and turn it off, and then dialer is where you actually pair it. Then we swipe to go to the next screen. We have remote notifications, remote camera, anti-loss, and settings. Now, remote notifications is to get notifications from your Android phone. Remote camera is so you use the camera on your Android device, not the camera on this, but the camera on your Android device, and then use this as like a small screen for your Android phone. Maybe you got your Android phone or whatever on a tripod, and then you can remotely see what's going on this screen and hit the button to actually take a picture. Anti-loss is so if you get too far away from your Android phone, it will actually start ringing it, making a noise to say, look, you're too far away, you've forgot it. It will also act as a way to ring the device so you can find it if you lost it. Then there's settings. Then there's Pedometer, and if we click that, basically it doesn't always monitor your steps. You have to go to this and start it each time you want to do it. It isn't constantly monitoring and logging it all the time, so that's something to bear in mind. You hit start, the time will go like a stopwatch, and as you're moving, the step count will go from 0 to 5 to 10, etc. So you can see how many steps you've done, basically. You can also clear it from bottom. Then you have sleep monitoring. There you have sleep monitoring, and you start that when you go to bed. And basically the results will change. It will say good, so you're having a good night's sleep, or if you think you're having a restless sleep, it will tell you that. And as I haven't started it says none, but you can go back or start it from there. Then you have reminders, so you can set reminders. Then you have a QR code, which is to download the BT Notifier software for your Android. Unfortunately, that is not available for iPhone, which is a pity, because you can pair it on an iPad or iPhone, but all that allows you to do is use this watch as a speaker for your iPhone, so you can have music playing from your iPhone to the speaker on this. You can't send notifications or anything else. That's a pity. The software is only available for Android, and there are third-party apps on the iPhone store, but none of them seem to recognize this device. Then you can set an alarm clock. You can find a Find Me, which is to find your phone. There is a calendar and images, but for doing images, you have to have an SD card in. It supports TF cards up to 32 gigabytes, and you have to have one of them in. You open up the back. You take this back off, then there's a battery. You can remove the battery. Then under the battery is where you put in the SIM and the SD card. Then we have a audio player, but you need your SD card in, which I don't have a small one in at the moment. Then you have Bluetooth music, which is for sending music from your phone to this. Then you have an audio recorder, which is to record sound using the microphone on the device, but I don't have a SD card in, so it won't work. Then we have camera, and there is the camera on the actual smartwatch, not the phone. The only problem I have is this is a bit of a gimmick. I don't really find it very useful, because the camera is facing upwards. The camera is facing up this way, not forward like the screen. So you basically take pictures with it, pointing it flat. If you were wearing this, it'll be pointing that way. So it's to take pictures. You can't use it for web chatting. There is no Skype or anything on this, and the camera's facing the wrong direction for doing that, unfortunately. Now, if the camera's facing forward like the screen, and it had a app like Skype, that would be really handy. That would make this camera useful. Then you have Facebook, WhatsApp, and browser. You have to have a SIM card in. You can't just pair your device. You do have to have a SIM card in to use the Facebook, WhatsApp chatting app and the internet. Then there's a file manager there to check out files in your SD card. Of course, you have to have SD in for that. The unfortunate thing is here on some sites it says it has Twitter. There is no Twitter for some reason. There is Facebook and WhatsApp, so the only thing it's really missing is Twitter. Even though some things say it has it, it actually doesn't, which is a pity. Also, it says there's themes, which basically means different style interfaces. So instead of having it like this, you could have it where the icons are like kind of almost like bubbles twirling around. It says in the leaflet to go to main menu, then themes, and select a theme. As you can see from scrolling through this, there is no themes option, and I have looked under settings. Now if we look at settings, we have phone settings. Not much there. That's where you set your time and date. You can schedule the device to power on or power off at certain times. Select your languages. Select when the screen goes off, how often, to save battery. Flight mode and LED backlight. I find that for the backlight, its default setting of about 3 is fine. You can make it brighter or turn it down. Then we have profiles such as silent mode, meeting mode, outdoor mode. I find general's good, and then I go to options, and then options and customize, and from there you can have it just ring or just vibrate or ring and vibrate, and you can actually select different ringtones, and that is really good. Plus you can also not just select ringtones, you can also even select a ringtone file, a custom file from your SD card, which is really handy, so you're not just stuck with the 6 that are built in. Then you have connectivity, not much to be seen there, restore default settings, and that's about it. So what do I think? I really recommend this. It is the best watch for under £20. In fact, I really believe you're probably not going to get a better watch for under £40. So is it perfect? No. The camera is really a gimmick. I don't think the camera is useful at all. However, so, you know, it's pointing in the wrong direction, use of chatting, and there's no video chatting app. There is no Twitter, despite what some descriptions say. And it's only on Android synchronization. You can't sync on other devices such as Windows Phone or iOS. That's a pity. So it's far from perfect, but it looks nice, it's functional, it has SIM card mode, and in fact I have heard, at least in America, even without a SIM card in, you can still dial 911 for emergency services, which could be a lifesaver, which is great. Unfortunately, I don't know if that works in the UK, and I am not going to try it in case it does work. So it is very handy, and definitely the best watch you can get for that kind of money. So I do recommend it. The screen is good quality, and it's so responsive for such a cheap device. Really recommend it. If you're looking for a budget smartwatch, and especially if you have an Android phone, this is definitely the way to go. In fact, if you don't have an Android phone, it's still worth it, because if you put a SIM card in it, you can do most things anyway. So thanks for watching. Please like and comment on this video, and if you could do me a huge favour and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it just takes a few seconds and will help me out a lot. Thanks.